Black Bag is directed by Steven Soderbergh and stars Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, and Pierce Brosnan. When intelligence agent Catherine Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or to his country. Watching this film the other day, I was very curious as to how this movie was going to turn out because I barely saw any promotion for this thing anywhere. No TV spots, no posters anywhere. It just came out of the blue one day and all of a sudden we got a new Steven Soderbergh movie coming in a couple of weeks, and I was like, the guy who did the Ocean's 11 films and Logan Lucky, which I very much enjoyed, underrated movie, not a lot of people give that enough credit, but I was really interested to see this film based off the director and the cast alone. Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Like, it sounds like the kind of film that would have come out during Oscar season and would be running up for Best Picture with this kind of story and director. So, yeah, I was into the idea, especially with it being sort of an espionage film. Start with Pierce Brosnan in it, you know, James Bond himself, our fifth one. So, watching it now, I have to say, I had a great time with this film. I thought Black Bag was a really tense and very engaging watch in terms of being sort of a game of mind tricks, trying to figure out who is responsible for some kind of thing that's going to go wrong and how it can be prevented by making sure we get the right person. And it connects personally to our main characters and who they are able to trust. There are 5 other people in this film that also have a bit of dirty laundry going on in the back, and it's up to us as the audience to try and figure out who is really responsible for betraying the country and to leak some sort of information out there. And we don't know if it's Cate Blanchett's character as Michael Fassbender's wife or if it's any of the other agents in this agency. And we spend a good amount of time with each of them individually and getting to know them as people. And not just individually, but there are plenty of scenes where they're all just discussing what's happening together and trying to dissect what is really happening, when you know that it could be one of these guys that is solely responsible. And there are a few hints with many of these characters that makes you not sure who is really the main antagonist here that we're trying to look for. Probably Cate Blanchett, or it's probably this guy with a very rusty beard and is a bit of a cheater. It could be this very handsome dude that is in a relationship with a therapist of sorts. In all honesty, the movie kind of does a poor job at making some of the other female characters feel like they are as engaged with treason like the male characters, and it kind of how do I say it? Kind of breaks the realm of believability that this movie was setting up, that anyone, no matter what, could be responsible. There are a few hints in there, but I think the film made it a bit too clear that these other female characters, apart from Cate Blanchett's character, are not responsible for committing treason to their country. And it kind of dilutes the mystery a bit. I would have loved to have the female characters just have as much dirty things going on in the background that could possibly make them more clear suspects. Just have everyone in this movie be as equally on bad terms. So the whole movie could have a bit more tension. But for the most part, I still found all the characters to be very engaging and interesting to watch. But the filmmaking on display by Steven Soderbergh's direction is impeccable. The cinematography in this film is absolutely gorgeous. The way it was able to track certain characters from one location to another, or within one little space, and you already get a sense of tension building because of the way the camera moves around the characters or how close it gets to them. Sometimes you even get like wonders where we just follow the characters all the way through an entire scene and you don't know what is going to happen or how the characters are going to react. Literally, the cinematography does a good job at visually telling the story, as well as the script giving our characters interesting things to say and interesting lines to give out. Everything just worked in perfect harmony. The script was tight and it was engaging to watch. It does a good job at building up the mystery and building up the tension of what is going to happen. In terms of the music, the film is very minimal in that regard. I barely think there's even a score for this film, and if there was, it's probably just some background songs that fade into the ambience of the film like they are part of the world. No orchestral kind of songs that are trying to build up an entire scene. So in terms of music, it's not really fair to judge the film on that front, but I think the movie is wise to not include too much music, as it creates a sense of tension that you can only get from just watching the visuals alone and how the characters are reacting to certain things going on. And the music, I feel like if it was added, it would have done a bit more of telling and giving out certain emotions that you're supposed to feel. With a spy espionage story like this, I think it's best to leave out a lot of music and have you just watch the characters just try to figure things out. And again, this is all down to the great direction of Steven Soderbergh, who helmed this film like he is 20 years old. This movie is slick. The production design is impeccable. The way he's able to coordinate his cinematographer to move certain camera angles around the characters, and how the stage hits actors in certain scenes, and how he directs these scenes and paces them out. It is just what a great director should do. And I loved every single moment. Every single scene felt like it had a purpose. And the film, as I said, is tightly paced, and it is pretty short. It's like a little over an hour and a half long, but it felt like two. And I'm not saying that as like a negative, I'm saying that as a positive, because I was unsure what's really going to happen, and I was just engrossed into what every scene has in store and what the characters are going to say or do next. And it felt like an eternity because I was just so tensed up and engaged as to what is going to happen later on, and I really want to figure out what the truth really is. All in all, Black Bag was a great espionage thriller. I highly recommend it if you are into these kinds of films. It is beautifully shot, great to look at, like the production design and the cinematography is impeccable. The direction is extremely solid. The performances by Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender are perfect. These two actors had really impeccable chemistry with one another, and you do buy into their marriage and relationship, and you are unsure whether they're being truthful or not, but there are many points in which it's just these two characters together, and you can tell that they truly do love each other, but are still in the mindset of trying to do their job at the same time. So whenever we cut to a scene between them, we get the chemistry, but we are unsure still as to what is going to happen between these two characters, or what they are going to say and find out about each other. And it's these two characters that really do make the film as engaging to watch as it is. So with all that being said, I really loved Black Bag. I think it is great. I thought the performances were phenomenal, and just the cinematography, directing, just beautiful. Just everything about this film worked in perfect harmony. Some other characters probably could have used a little bit more development and have a bit more things to do, but other than that, I had a really great time with Black Bag, and I'm gonna give it an A. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.